When factorising, you're looking to bring out the highest common factor of all terms. However, when you get a quadratic, that is something that looks like x squared, a number of x's, let's say 5x, plus a number, let's say 6. You can see there's no common factor. However, that does not mean it cannot be factorised. Indeed, it just means that the factors are expressions or a collection of terms, not just 5 or 5x or 2x. Pause the video and write down how you would factorise a quadratic. So as I've said already, the expression x squared plus 5x plus 6 is called a quadratic. When we expand two brackets, for example x plus 2 multiplied by x plus 3, we end up getting x times x, which is x squared, x times 3, which is 3x, 2 times x, which is 2x, and 2 times 3, which gives 6. And if we simplify that, the 2x terms can be added together to give 5x. So we end up, when we expand double brackets, we get a quadratic. So if we can do the reverse of that, we can go back, and this is actually the factorised form of the quadratic, where x plus 2 is a factor and x plus 3 is a factor. So in this case, if you're asked to factorise a quadratic, it means to put it into double brackets instead of a single bracket. So to factorise a quadratic, e.g. x squared plus 7x plus 12, you first of all write down double brackets with an x at the start. That's because when you expand it out, x times x will give you this x squared. To then find these missing numbers, you should remember team. And this is just a way to remember how to find the two numbers. So we're looking to find two numbers which times for the end and add for the middle. Now what does that mean? So you're looking for two numbers which times for the end. Well, the end of the quadratic is 12. So we're looking for two numbers which multiply or times to give 12. But they also have to add for the middle. So if we look at the middle term in the quadratic expression, that middle term has a number 7. So we're looking for two numbers which also add to give 7. Sometimes you can spot it straight away. If you can't, I would recommend writing down all the multiplications that give 12. So 1 times 12, 2 times 6, and 3 times 4. And then check, does any of those add to give 7? And you'll see 3 times 4 is 12, but 3 plus 4 is 7. So we then have 3 and 4 will be the values that go into the brackets, and that's it, finished. And if you're not sure, you can always expand this out to check, does it indeed give you x squared plus 7x plus 12. Pause the video and have a go at example 3. So in example 3, we've got a quadratic, so we can identify that was probably a double bracket that was expanded out. So it's going to be x and x at the start of the brackets, because when I expand that would give me the x squared. And then if I remember my team, I'm looking for two numbers which times to give the end number, which you can see is 8, and adds to give the middle number, which you can see is 6. So what two numbers times to give 8 and add to give 6? Well, you can do 8 times 1, but they add to give 9, or you can do 2 times 4, and indeed they do add to give 6. So 2 and 4 are the values. If instead you decided to put 4 and 2 in, the order doesn't matter because we're multiplying, so the brackets could be in the other way around. Let's look at some other quadratics to factorise where maybe the numbers to find are a little bit more complicated. You can pause the video and have a go yourself at examples for A, B, C, D, E, and F. So before we go into them, I'm going to just go over this example here where we're going to factorize x squared minus 8x plus 15. So when we think about using our team, we know it's going to be double brackets, and we know it has to be x and x. But to find these numbers in here, we're looking to times to give the n number, which was 15. It's a positive number, and it has to add to give the middle number, which is minus 8, is a negative number. So how is that going to work? How are we going to get two numbers which times to give a positive, but add to give a negative? Well, because the multiplication is positive and the addition negative, the numbers required must both be negative. That's because when you multiply two negatives, you will get a positive number, but when you add two negatives, you will have a negative number. So for example, minus 1 times minus 15 will give you positive 15, and minus 1 plus minus 15 will give you negative 16. So a negative answer, but unfortunately negative 16 is not what we want. We want negative 8. So if you try another combination, minus 3 times minus 5 gives positive 15, and if you add minus 3 to minus 5, you get minus 8. So minus 3 and minus 5 are your solutions. If that helps, then you can have a go now at example 4. So part A, we have to factorize x squared minus 6x plus 8. So identify the quadratic. I know it's going to be x times x to give x squared, and I'm looking for two numbers which times to give the end 8 and add to give the middle, which is minus 6. So I know that if the multiplication has to be positive, but the answer when you add them has to be negative, it has to be two negative numbers. So minus 1 times minus 8, or minus 2 times minus 4. And it's the second one that adds to give minus 6. So minus 2 and minus 4. Part B, we've got x squared minus 18x plus 45. Again, it's a quadratic with no factor, common factor. So we put double brackets there and we put x and x at the start. We're looking for two numbers which times to give the end, 45, and add to give the middle, minus 18. So again, like the last one, we're looking for a positive result when we multiply the two numbers, but a negative result when we add them, so that has to be two negative numbers. So that could be minus 1 times minus 45. 2 doesn't go in, 3 does. Minus 3 times minus 15. And those two add to give minus 18. So that's what the values we put in. Part C. Factorize x squared plus x minus 6. So put double brackets in. We're looking for two numbers which times to give the end, so minus 6, and add to give the middle. Now there's no number there, so that means, but it's not 0 because there are x's there, so it's 1. So it has to add to give 1. Now when we multiply and get a result of a negative number, that must mean that 1 is positive and 1 is negative. Because the only way to get a negative number when you do a multiplication is to have a positive and a negative. So what are our combinations? We could have 1 times minus 6. We could have 2 times minus 3. We could have 3 times minus 2. And we could have 6 times minus 1. Which one of those add to give positive 1? The answer is this one here. Do be very careful because quite often people would choose this one, but that adds to give negative 1. So be very careful when making your choice. So x and x is normal, and it would be plus 3 and minus 2. Part D, we've got our double brackets again for the quadratic. X and x times to give the end number, minus 20, adds to give the middle number, which is minus 1 this time, So again, there has to be a number there, and that's a 1. So what are our combinations? We could do minus 1 times 20, minus 2 times 10, minus 4 times 5, minus 5 times 4, minus 10 times 2, and minus 20 times 1. Now, you don't have to write out that list all the time, but just when you are getting stuck, try and be methodical and do it in an ordered way, and you will find the answer eventually. Minus 5 plus 4 would give you minus 1. Part E. We've got x squared plus 5x minus 36. So, as usual, if you expand double brackets, you'll get that quadratic. So we write those in. It'll be x and x to give the x squared. And then we're looking for two numbers which times to give the end, minus 36, and add to give the middle, which is 5. So we think of all the multiplications that would give minus 36. So we could have 1 times minus 36, 2 times minus 18, 3 times minus 12, 4 times minus 9, 5 doesn't fit in, 6 fits in, 6 times minus 6. Now I could keep going on like that, but one was very close. 4 times minus 9 gives minus 36. They add to give minus 5, so I could just change that slightly and go minus 4 times positive 9. Switch the signs about. Minus 4 plus 9 gives you 5. So the answer is minus 4 and plus 9. In part F, we have to factorise x squared minus 8x plus 16. It'll be x at the start to give x squared. Then we're looking for two numbers which times to give the end, 16, and add to give the middle number, minus 8. So there's no point in looking at two positive numbers, like maybe 1 times 16, because they're never going to add to give a negative number. So look at the negative options instead. Minus 1 times minus 16, minus 2 times minus 8, minus 4 times minus 4. And indeed, if you add minus 4 and minus 4, you get minus 8. So that is your answer. Another way to leave your answer, because you'll see there that those two brackets are the same, we could write that as x minus 4 multiplied by itself, so squared. When factorising, quite often you come across the difference of two squares, and it catches people out quite a bit, to be honest. Pause the video and write down what the difference of two squares is, or give an example. So what is meant by the difference of two squares? Well, the difference of two squares is x squared minus a squared, where you get the square root of x squared, which will be x, and the square root of a squared, which will be a. And you put a plus in one of the brackets and a negative in the other bracket. And if you expand that out, what you'll notice you'll get, if I just write it out, you would get x squared minus ax plus ax minus a squared. And because of the way it's written, when you simplify the x terms, they disappear, and you just get x squared minus a squared. And this is called the difference of two squares, because you've got a squared number, subtract a square number. So hence the difference coming from the subtract, and the squares coming from the fact that both terms are squared. It is the difference of two square numbers. So for example, if you've got x squared minus 25, you can put an x in both of them, because x times x will give you x squared, and 5 times 5 will give you 25. Remember, one has to be positive and one has to be negative in order to get the negative between the two squared numbers. Now, if you don't spot the difference of two squares, it's not the end of the world, because at the end of the day, it's still a quadratic. So you can still factorise it the way you've done previously. So if you look at this example again, looking at x squared minus 25, you're looking for two numbers which times to give the end, and the end term is the minus 25, and add to give the middle. This time though, there is no middle term. The middle term is usually the x term. If you're rewriting that out, that would be x squared plus 0 x's, or no x's, minus 25. Now you're never going to write 0 x's. You're just going to write nothing. You're just going to write x squared minus 25. This is just to show you that we're trying to find two numbers which add to give the middle number, which is going to be 0. And the two numbers which times to give minus 25 and add to give 0 will be 5 and negative 5. So they're the two numbers that go into the bracket. Pause the video and have a go at example 5 and 6 if you can. Example 5a. So you can see it's a quadratic, which means you're going to have double brackets. Don't take it for granted, just always look for a common factor first, but there is none. You can sometimes do loads of these and then get out of the way. Remember, always do look for a common factor first. And then we're looking for two numbers which times to give minus 16 and add to give 0. So that would be plus 4 and minus 4. Or I sort of knew the answer already because I saw it was the difference of two squares. Square root the x squared to give your x, square root the 16 to give you 4, and then put a plus and a minus in between. If we look at part B, it's maybe harder to identify that it's a difference of two squares, but x squared is a square number, and 1 is also a square number. So it is again the difference of two squares. X times x will give x squared, and 1 times 1 will give 1. We want minus 1, so make 1 positive and 1 negative. Part C, 9x squared minus 4. A good bit trickier this one. For the first time, we're trying to factorise here, but the number of x squareds is not 1. But if you think about the difference of two squares, what number times by itself will give 9x squared? The answer is 3x. 3x multiplied by 3x would give 9x squared. And then what number times by itself will give 4? The answer is 2. So plus 2 multiplied by minus 2 will give minus 4. Two harder expressions to factorise to finish off. And here, if you try to factorise, you'll have trouble using double brackets straight away. But the first thing you should be thinking about always is there a common factor? And you can spot here there's 2 as a common factor. So bring the 2 out. That will give you x squared minus 9. Now the job's not done there, because if you look inside the bracket, hopefully you should be able to see something that can be factorised. Indeed, x squared minus 9 is the difference of two squares. So x times x would give x squared, and 3 times minus 3 would give minus 9. Factorise 2x squared minus 6x minus 20. Again, before we rush into double brackets, you can see 2 is a common factor. So factorise out the 2 before we start. 2 times x squared is 2x squared. 2 times minus 3x is minus 6x. And 2 times minus 10 is minus 20. When we then go on to factorise the quadratic here, it's not the difference of two squares, but it will be x and x multiplied together to give the x squared. And then we're looking for two numbers which times to give the end, minus 10, and add to give the middle number, minus 3. And that would be minus 5 and plus 2.